Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. And we have a great show lined up for you today. In the studio, Jennifer Cox from South Mississippi Living Magazine.
In all her glory.
In all her glory.
My glory.
That's right. That's right. We're going to be talking about the magazine, obviously, her career in media, marketing. She's been doing this for quite a long time. We're going to talk about her backstory, college, and dating at.
Whoa!
We're not going to name any ages. Just dating in life. How are we going to call that?
Later in
life. Okay, you said it, not me. I let her leave with that. You see, guys, I'm not as dumb as I look.
That's right.
All right. But first, before we get into all of that, we're going to talk about the sponsors, man, the people who support the show and help Joey and I do this crazy thing that we call the Brownwater Banter podcast.
Yes.
First, right out of the gate, you've heard us mention him before. Here they are right there, Dr. Robbie Williams and his friendly staff over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. If you are looking for a great local dentist, we cannot recommend him enough, man. They are over on Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs. They're on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. If you're not on socials for some reason and you still want to check them out,
they still have a landline.
They have a landline and a regular website.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that's right. SouthernMagnoliaSmiles.com. Go check them out, man. I'm not just saying that. Joey and I, all the sponsors that we work with, we truly believe in, and Southern Magnolia Smiles is definitely one of them. If you looking for a new dentist, never been to the dentist, afraid to go to the dentist, or just need to get those pearly whites sharpened up and cleaned up a little bit. That's right. Go check them out. Give them a call. Book that appointment at 228-215-1202. And we do appreciate their support.
Thank you, Dr. Bob.
Coming right up, Hill Tree Marketing, man. Jesse Hill and his team, we can't say enough great things about them. If you are a local business, if you're a content creator, if you're someone who needs a website done for any reason, and you're looking for somebody that can guide you in the right direction, Jesse is your guy. Hill Tree Marketing. Go to hilltreemarketing.com. Check out the local brands that he has worked with, businesses that you've heard of, that you've probably been to before. He's got them right there listed on his website. You can get a feel for how he does his design. And when you're ready to make that jump and get your website done, look them up right there, Hill Tree Marketing. They're on Facebook as well. Shoot them a message. Tell them you'd like to work with them. If you need photography done, this whole group of people right here, they all have individual.
Look at Michael Jeter. He looks good, doesn't he? He looks stunning.
They all have their own talents here, from photography to aerial cinematography, drone work. They do it all. They can put together a commercial for you. He's done stuff at Centennial Plaza, and filmed some stuff for Cruising the Coast.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Super talented guy. Or just jump over to brownwaterbanter.com and see the award-winning website.
Yes,
that he designed for us.
Award-winning, if
That's
you didn't
correct.
catch that.
That is correct. Moving right along, man. Rocky over at Cedar Swamp jumped on board with us this month. Cedar Swamp over in Gaucher on Gaucher Van Cleve Road. If you're looking for a local place to get tackle, man, let me show you some photos here. Sorry for people in the audio listening in on the podcast. You got to jump over to Cedar Swamp on Facebook and see what I'm talking about. But he's got lures, man. He's got fishing apparel, shorts, dry fit shirts, hats. Joey, what else? Reels, rods, floundering lights,
extra tough boots. He got hats. He carries a lot of local guys too. We're trying to get in with him too, so it's going to be
trying to muscle our way in.
Yeah, we're going to squeeze our way in. He's outgrown the shop, so he's got to go up instead of sideways. But he's got matrix shad. He's got anything you need to for any kind of fishing. So go check him out. He's always there. If he's not, he's got somebody there that's better than him.
That's right.
Maybe a little better looking than him.
He's also like I mentioned though, he's got those custom floundering lights, the PVC made ones, the super bright LED ones, a lot better than the ones we used to use back in the day with the
and he also runs Coastal Angler magazine, so you can go pick it up there, a lot of other places. Rocky's a good guy. Go check him out.
Yeah, and we appreciate having him on board. Yep. So I think we covered everybody, huh?
That's it.
So let's jump right into it. So Jennifer, much anticipated episode. We got a little traction today on some posts on Facebook. People commenting, looking forward to you being on the show today. Where do we start here? How did you get into what do we call it? Marketing, media, sales, all the above?
All the above.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Gosh, almost 20 years of it. I mean, born and raised here, school here. Of course, y'all know that we all went to school together.
Yellow Jackets, baby. Sting them.
We did.
All jackets.
Went to Perk for 2 years. Had the time of my life.
Yeah, it was fun.
way too much fun.
Too much fun. Okay.
And after I left Perk, transferred to USM.
Okay.
Hattiesburg.
Southern Miss to the top.
The top. And was involved in or enrolled in the broadcast journalism program. I was actually going to school to be a sports broadcaster.
Really?
And God had a different plan for me.
Sometimes it bees that way.
Yeah.
So 3 years in, I became a mom to twins at 20 years old.
Ooh.
And you know, but I started in radio when I was 14, of course, back in the day, it was Mississippi Media, Triad Broadcasting, all that. It was, US 98 before it was CPR.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a country station.
Okay.
I go way back with Scott Fox, Kyle Curley.
Okay.
All of them. Kenny Best, all of them.
How 14 years old?
I won a contest to be DJ for a day.
Oh, wow.
On their station. And Scott Fox was the DJ for that night and that show. And he was Bob, what was his name? I can't remember. Gosh, I cannot remember. Anyway,
it was 20 years ago.
It was it was longer than 20 years ago.
Good one, Joey.
So the owner at the time called up while I was there on air, and he was like, "You are doing great, but come work." And I'm like, "What can I do at 14?"
Right.
Well, you can be a remote assistant. I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I thought I was the coolest thing in 9th grade at St. Martin.
Right.
Absolutely.
I went to every remote, live remotes, passed out keychains, cups. I thought I was cool.
That was the good old days before when you could work at a younger age.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like now, if they had you working at 14, it'd be child labor laws
you
all
can't.
over the place.
Yeah, you can't.
I just saw Scott Fox this weekend at CPR Fest. Great turnout.
Yeah,
glad
I'm excited
to have
for
them
them.
still doing their thing. Yeah,
I'm excited for them.
They did a podcast or a live stream or something. I don't even remember if it was part of oh man,
spit it out.
Come on, I can see the damn it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, they talked about their history and where CPR came from.
Yeah.
So CPR
Super Talk. Thank you.
Yeah. So CPR was a country station.
Right.
For like a hot minute.
But when they came up with the name, it was going to be Coast Planet Rock. CPR, right? And they shortened it to CPR. Yeah, it was a really cool story.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Right, but 20 years, CPR Fest 20 was this weekend.
Yes,
great turnout. Everybody had a good time.
I know. I'm excited for them.
The weather held up, so
it was
because that's where I actually was before.
3 Doors was there. 3 Doors down.
Yeah,
I mean,
love them.
They may have had a little bit of a relationship with 97.9 at one point.
Oh yes, oh yes.
So
and CPR and the Monkey is where I was before I actually started at the magazine.
That's awesome.
So 14 years old, DJ for a day or radio host for a day.
Yeah.
Owner loves it. Wants you to start doing remotes, and you fall in love with broadcasting.
I already was kind of into it. I'm kind of a talker.
Yeah.
So. It was always something that, and I love sports. Of course, we grew up playing sports, my brother and I, and of course, my dad was involved. I think he even coached you at one point. Maybe.
Yeah, in junior league baseball.
Because my brother is closer to y'all's age.
Yeah. 1 year older than us.
He's a year older.
So, I've always had a passion for sports, and, the rest of the news is kind of depressing. So I wanted something fun and lighthearted and, all that. So, that's when I got into the whole sports broadcasting thing. And Southern has a great program, honestly, for broadcasting,
radio,
and
television,
journalism.
film.
And so they do really well with that. But
did you take Miss Perkins's oral communication class?
I did.
Yeah, that was a game.
I did make an A in that class too. By the way.
I don't remember what I made. I remember.
I guarantee you, I didn't.
I also took public speaking, which I excelled.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Did you do the news on shoes and all that?
100%.
Yeah,
yes.
Me too. Yeah, there's a video floating around of me and Doug White doing that.
What was the other show called? That came on. Not News on Shoes, but there was another show that we had to watch.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah. it wasn't Channel 1 or
Yes, it was Channel 1. Channel 1. Yes.
The old brain cells fire every now and again.
Yes,
Channel
it
1.
was Channel 1.
Yeah, it was
on the big 30, the 26-inch.
The rolled in on the brown cart.
Yeah.
They only weighed about 600 pounds, and they were on a cart designed to hold 30.
Exactly.
50 feet in the air.
Oh yeah, we get to watch a movie now. It's just
especially when a sub was in.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But that was cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
It's like a modern day MTV.
Yeah.
So you go up to Perk.
So I went to Perk. Well, also,
when you went to Perk though, that was the goal, journalism of some sort.
I mean, I went to Perk because, of course, it was junior college.
Correct.
And easier way to kind of get my basics out of the way and all that stuff. But I also I don't know if you guys remember, but at St. Martin, I tried out for cheerleading like 6 years in a row, and I never made it.
Okay.
But you did at Perk.
But I did at Perk.
You did.
Oh, really?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, stick it to him.
And,
Stick it to him.
and I finally got paid to do it. So, I mean, I was
so you
on
got a
scholarship.
scholarship.
Oh, for sure.
Boom.
So if that gives you any kind of
all you ladies out there, I don't know how young our demographic are.
I'm a little persistent.
Yeah.
I don't know how many 16-year-old girls listen to the show, but if you do, stick with it, right?
Oh my God, if it's something that you love and you feel like you're good enough to be, to do it, then
Well, that was kind of a step too, going into sports, being a female at that time, because there weren't a lot of females in sports broadcasting at all.
Oh yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
Aaron Andrews totally has my job.
Yeah. That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, no, that should be me.
Okay.
But and then of course my kids get aggravated at me because they're like, "Mom, you could have totally still done it," and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it'd be kind of hard to interview Nick Saban running into the tunnel at halftime with two carriers sitting on
this. You could have had him like this
on the sidelines. I'm like, it just kind of became a little unrealistic at that point. So
is that when they came about? Is that when you like realized you had to pivot a little bit? I mean, did it?
Had to make it swerve.
Extremely.
I was trying to put that,
extremely.
You're like, absolutely. So what did you say? I mean, what to yourself? What conversations do you have with yourself at 20 with twins? Doing it alone.
I was almost
keep
like,
swimming. Keep
swimming.
What?
Do not drown.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what led me back to radio.
Okay.
But at that point,
a little more flexible as far as schedule wise.
Well, not even that, but at that point I needed to make more money. So sales is pretty much where it led me to.
Right.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
And so I went back to the same radio group. Every time I've been involved in radio, it's been with that group of people and stations. And I have nothing but mad respect for them. I love them. They have, my support 100%. And then from there, it just kind of trickled into so often I was presented an opportunity to do advertising sales in a different media.
But that's a little bit different, right? That's not in front of the camera or in front of the microphone. Like if it's radio, did you just fall naturally into that, or did you feel like you had to? Like, how did you make that bit of a pivot?
Well, sales is totally different.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I've always been a speaker.
Well, it's public speaking came into it.
I've never, because sales is not for the
faint of heart.
I mean, it's really not.
You got to get in there and rub elbows.
You have to rub elbows, but you also have to be thick-skinned, and you also have to be able to take rejection, and you also have to be able to hustle. And if you can't handle being told no all the time, or because it does take a lot. I mean, every now and then you'll get lucky and land one on the first go round, but
you get knocked down
90% of the time you have to
thick skin.
That's where that persistence comes in.
20 no's for like a mate for one maybe.
Correct.
Yeah.
All day.
And that's just hard-headedness. That's what my mom calls it. Hard-headedness.
Well, and it's not even that. I mean,
get knocked down, keep getting back up.
Well, and that too. And of course, these business owners have so many different types of media reps coming at them daily.
Correct.
And so that's when you have to stand out as an individual on top of being a sales rep. You know
Correct.
what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, because people want to work with people that they
relate to.
There you go. That's a
Yeah.
good word. Yeah,
They-
exactly.
Or
if they can
enjoy,
relate to-
or right, yeah.
Because you could be a terrible salesperson. Like we've all been to the car lot or the boat lot or whatever lot,
Right.
and met somebody that,
Oh
just,
yeah.
hey, how's you? And you're like, I don't want to buy anything.
Oh,
from
yeah.
this
Right,
person. And you
right.
met the guy or girl who's like, hey, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, if you can chop it up with them
Right,
and relate
yeah.
to them on a
hang
on a
out
level,
with them a little bit.
correct,
Well, you gotta listen.
correct.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
You
a big
gotta
one. That's a
listen.
big one.
You know, you have to be able to communicate with them, you know, what it is and why it is that what you're trying to pitch them is a good fit. And
You got to know your product. You got to believe in your
you
product, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Passionately, honestly.
Right.
And if you don't believe in it, then they're definitely not going to buy it from you. But you also have to be relatable, and you also have to kind of be on that level of just trust,
Right.
you know, and not
People can smell bullshit a mile away.
Oh my god,
So
I was
if
totally
you're-
about to say that, but
Yeah.
I was like, watch myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
forgot about that. That was
I mean,
mild.
you can.
That was mild. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not a BSer,
Right.
and I really think like when and my clients know this, like right now today, they know that I will not bring them anything that does not make sense for them.
Right.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to pitch them something just to make a sale. I'm not going to try and get them to do something that doesn't make sense for what their business is, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I
because every
just-
business got its own needs.
100%.
Right.
I'm
Truth
just
will
not,
set you free.
yeah, I'm
Right.
not going to do it. So,
So you got to know their businesses,
Right.
not as well as they do, but to a
well,
certain degree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going to bring something to the table that doesn't fit.
Right.
You got to know what fits and then present it and then have the relationship with them.
Like I'm not going to bring September's issue of SML Women in Business to you guys.
right.
You might could. I mean, we'll thumb through it.
We'll
you know?
take a look
Right.
at it.
Take
Who's
a
in
look
there?
at it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Our
come on.
our CFO is a woman,
She is.
and our head of merchandise creation is a woman. So
But we are
we'll
definitely not
highlight
women.
them.
Yeah. You could
We will
definitely-
highlight
right.
them.
And
Yeah.
what the VIPs. The,
Right.
Yeah.
The brains of the business
Right.
is women. Here,
Yes.
but we
Oh,
don't
yes.
like to say that.
Always.
I'll edit that out on the live show. But no. So going back, what's it like logistically? 20 twins, and then now you're
Ugh.
going to Southern, and you're still gonna pursue the radio television. Were you in the RTF program, radio, television, film, or was it marketing?
No,
or what
I was
it?
just in the broadcast. It was broadcast
Broadcasting.
journalism.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe they changed it. There.
Well, I didn't fit. I mean, I didn't fit. I was offered. So rewind.
Let's back up a little bit.
I went up to Southern and I was offered my internship to work at Fox Sports.
Really?
Wow.
And a week after that is when I found out I was pregnant.
Mm.
So
Bittersweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
two beautiful babies out
Yes.
of it,
Oh, they're
right?
gorgeous.
Boy and a girl.
Boy
Yep.
and a girl.
But they almost grown.
They are
Now.
grown.
Yeah, they are grown.
They will be 21 in September.
Both
Wow.
of them went to D'Iberville.
D'Iberville.
Yeah.
Well, they went to D'Iberville and Ocean Springs.
Yeah, I
but
saw them
they-
graduate from
They
D'Iberville.
did.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah, they did. That's cool.
Now
And-
you
and-
led this off with Stingham, and now you're gonna start bragging.
Well,
about
I
the
know.
Well,
Irish.
we
I'm
have-
just
I
saying,
mean-
we're singing, but I still teach at D'Iberville
Right,
now.
exactly.
And I watched both of them walk across stage.
He did.
There you
Right.
go.
He
One of
did.
them was a cheerleader.
He watched one of them cheer and he watched
one
the
of 'em
other
was a
one
football
kick
player.
and punt. So
There
Yeah.
it is.
yeah,
So it sounds like you did a pretty good job of
Yeah.
raising them.
I tried.
Yeah. Yeah. But go back to you.
So, you know, I
Fox
I
Sports,
offered,
yeah.
offered the internship, and that, talk about to the gut.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah. Everybody that's had kids, especially if it was unexpected, knows that
Very
you're
unexpected.
super happy, but at the same time, you're like,
Mm.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Even if you planned it, it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
like,
yeah,
oh,
it was
it's real now,
definitely
you know?
very unexpected. And then to discover that I was the only one
that was going to participate.
willing
Right.
to
Yeah,
participate.
yeah, into this parenting.
Then I think once,
That was another gut punch. I'm
well,
sure.
first of all, the reality of like you're pregnant, I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
And then
No, I'm not.
then it's like
How many lines
Yes,
are
you
on
are.
that thing?
then it's like, well, if you look at the screen right here, we're going to call this one Baby A.
Holy moly.
And I'm like,
why would we do
A?
that? Yeah.
Like Adam? Like he's a boy? Like what?
Yeah.
And
I'll name the child.
like,
There's no
what?
need for you.
And then Baby B. And I'm like,
Nope.
Oh,
so I'm the 4th generation in a row in my family to have twins.
really?
Every set have been identical girls. And so they dropped this bomb on me that I'm going to have twins.
Yes.
And at that point, of course, I didn't know what they were yet, you know.
Right.
And I mean, my grandma, God love her, she had twin girls. Of course, didn't know she was having twins like until she was giving birth.
Right.
Because back then they didn't know.
Yeah.
And so we leave the doctor's appointment that day, and I'm like, Lord, if you're going to send me more than one kid,
right,
please give me some variety.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
Please don't make it be 2 girls.
I don't want to look at the same kid all the time.
right.
Don't make it be 2 girls.
Or I didn't even care if it was 2 girls or 2 boys. I just didn't want them to be identical.
I think that's most people want identical, right? I don't know. I feel like no.
2 girls is bad. I got 2
I
girls.
knew. Look, my aunts were identical and gave my grandma hell. Like, absolutely not. Like, no, I don't want. But like, if you're gonna give me 2 kids at one time,
there's a set of identical twins, 2 sets of
in
identical, 2 sets,
in y'all's family,
2 sets. Yeah.
But the kicker is, I'm like the oldest grandkid out of 20 something grandkids.
Mhm.
And then Callie and Cullen, of course, are the first great grandkids. And out of everybody in our family, no one else has had twins. No one.
Congratulations.
Like no one. Not even the kids of the twins. Like nobody.
I got you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Life's funny that way sometimes,
so
you know?
funny, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
But it all had a purpose.
So
it all worked out.
It
Great.
did. So you got what you asked for.
You raised
so I did get a boy and a girl.
You raised 2 beautiful children.
Was fabulous.
Yeah.
So how do you go to college?
I did it.
Okay, so we took a break.
So I took a break and dropped. Well, I'm not going to say dropped out because
no, you took
I just took a pause because I did go back
sabbatical.
eventually.
A sabbatical.
Leave of absence.
FMLA.
There you
go.
Extended.
Yeah, and so that's when I went back to the radio station and got involved in sales.
Okay.
And that's how that kind of came about. And I was there for 3.5 years. And then an opportunity came about to get into TV. And that's when I started working at Cable One.
Okay.
And I did TV sales for about 4 years. And then, of course, Hurricane Katrina come rolling in.
Yep.
And wiped away probably 90% of the account list that I had.
I bet.
All downtown Biloxi,
all of the entire coast.
Yeah.
And so at that pivotal point is when I decided to go back to school. And so as a single parent, kids were in, late elementary, early middle school.
Right. A little older.
Yeah. And I went to Tulane. That was here on the coast.
Yes.
The one in the mall?
The one in the mall.
Yeah.
Yes. And
which was like such a novel idea then to have a satellite campus here.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, some of the best professors I've ever had. I mean, they were great. And I had went and sat with an advisor, and I was like, look, I have all these classes already. Like, what can I turn this into? Because at that point, I already had advertising under my belt, sales under my belt, media under my belt, over 8.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, why don't we look into a PR degree? I'm like, okay.
Well, give us PR for the dummies listening.
So PR's public relations. There's real, it is different than sales.
Yeah. Because you represent the client, I guess, is if
correct.
The right
You're kind of like the speaker.
Correct.
You're the voice of the business.
Of the business, yeah.
And so at that point, I was kind of looking to maybe branch out to a different portion of a career. I love to talk. I love to meet people. I love to be in the community. So I was like, I can dig it. So as a single parent, I then substitute taught.
Oh my Jesus.
For about 2.5, 3 years.
Did you like it?
No, there's no way she liked it.
There's
I can tell you right
Joey's
now,
a
there's
teacher,
no
by the
way
way.
she
there's
likes
not
it.
a sound. Look, kudos to every teacher.
Yeah.
There's no way she likes
Kudos.
it.
I have mad respect for every teacher. I have a lot of friends that are teachers.
Yeah.
There was not a salary big enough.
To do that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for me.
Okay.
It just wasn't for me. It takes a very, just like it takes a special person to do sales. It takes a
We
very
all have our
special
place in life.
individual
Correct.
to be a
Supposed to do.
teacher for sure.
Correct.
For sure. So, but I had to work while I still went to school
You had to pay
and raised
bills.
2 kids.
Yeah, you
I
had to pay
was,
bills.
the sole provider for my family. So
Mhm.
Right.
I had to figure it out. And that was really the only kind of job that was flexible to where I could go to school at night.
Right,
but
right, right,
still, and so after that, so I finished, graduated. I do have a degree from Tulane University in
The
public
Green Wave.
relations, the
PR.
Green Wave.
Yeah.
And literally when I graduated with that degree, I was just like, I mean, who is not going to want me?
Right.
No, you know what I mean? Like
Right. You got the
job wise,
experience.
let me just put that out there.
Yeah.
Light the comments up, boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Light them up.
So like, who's not going to, I mean, here I am, and I remember interviewing with a local casino for the position of advertising and public relations. And I'm like,
Shoe in.
I mean,
I got a degree.
That's
8
me
years
all
experience.
day,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
they told me that they did not, that I was overqualified.
That's a
A,
weird statement.
It
to
is
me.
such a weird
I hear
statement.
people say that, and I'm like, what is that?
What's
mean?
rude, first of all.
Right. It is rude.
And so overqualified, and they did not want to have to pay me what I was worth.
Now that
So
was
they
probably a
would-
true statement.
So they would rather bring in someone
I
that
would-
they could train, apparently.
That
but then
kind of
that-
makes sense. But I would
that
still be like,
then would
here's-
move on.
Here's the offer. If you want to turn it down,
Right.
Like, I don't want to insult you, but this is what it is,
Right.
and let you determine whether
Yeah.
it's
Correct.
let-
And so it just got very, very discouraging.
right.
When I tell you guys, I sent out about 85 resumes.
Right.
I mean, that's not even an exaggeration.
Uh-huh.
The only interview I got, besides that one,
Mm-hmm.
was with the phone book. And at that point, it was
The
the
Yellow
Sun-
Pages?
No,
Let's stop.
not even the
Oh, I was gonna say-
Yellow Pages.
No.
It was a company based out of Louisiana called the Sunshine Pages. And they had 3 small books over here. One for Bay Waveland,
With
one
the
for
businesses in it.
yeah. And I mean,
For any of the millennials that are listening to this or
no,
watching the live, a phone book used to be a collection of phone numbers that was in an actual
And they would
book.
throw it in your mom's driveway.
They would unsolicitedly throw it at your house and give it to you,
you didn't
because
even
the
have to
internet.
ask for it. You
Yeah,
would
the
show up
internet-
at home and it would be wrapped in a
That's
plastic
right,
bag
yeah.
at your front door.
and if it rained, you couldn't read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Because there were no cell phones and there was no internet.
Right.
All right.
No
proceed.
Google.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, no Google.
Continue.
So I did that for about 3 years and worked from home. We had different areas that we worked at, at different times of the year because we did different books at different times of the year. And then the company kind of like fizzled out over here. So I left the phone book, and then at one point I had 3 part-time jobs
So you were hustling.
You were a
because
nomad.
I
You were a
could not
traveler.
find a full-time job.
Right.
Right.
And so, I mean, I was marketing for a funeral home.
Yeah.
I was marketing for a physical therapy
Well, I mean,
clinic.
you had kids to feed. Anything
And
you
I
could
was
get, you were doing it.
also working the front desk receptionist at a hair salon. So all 3 of those simultaneously, at the same time.
grinding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make
I
it
mean,
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had babies
So-
to feed.
Not feeling sorry for yourself.
No.
never.
Not enough to not work. At least.
Never.
I mean, you probably had a moment from time to time, right?
I've never, ever not worked.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Nor have I ever wanted to not work.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, look, being a parent is hard.
Yep.
And
Being a single parent is harder.
being a single parent is harder.
Being a single parent to twins is harder.
You kind of stacked them up pretty high there,
Yeah.
didn't
I
you?
mean, I didn't want working gave me a break from being a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
If
lot of
that
people
makes
say
any
that. Yeah,
sense,
it does.
you know?
No,
And so
even married
yeah,
parents.
for
it's the same
sure.
thing.
Married,
Right.
yeah, for sure. It gives you that kind of let me go hang out with some
adults.
adults.
Correct.
You
Isn't
know?
that the complaint that like
Yeah.
stay-at-home moms always
Yeah.
say? Like,
Yeah, no,
can I
there's
just
no
talk
way.
to somebody
There's
that's
no
not
way.
a kid?
I
Yeah.
watched Barney 14
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
today
no,
on
the
repeat.
stay-at-home mom was not for me. Kudos to the ones that do, because I know that they don't get enough credit.
They don't.
Yes.
But you know, I wanted that opportunity to like kind of put myself out there and just I've never not wanted to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, then finally after that I got back into radio again. And with the same group that originally before. And
Is it the same group from the 14-year-old
Yes.
DJ for a day thing?
Yes.
Okay.
They
all right.
still
Yes.
remembers you.
Yeah.
Oh
Same
my
people.
gosh,
Yeah.
yes. I mean,
When you
I've
leave an impression
literally
on somebody.
I've literally known some of those guys since I was 14 years old. I mean, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
All right.
But and so
Ever on air, or is this always sales?
always sales.
Always sales. Okay.
And
you were good with that? That's what you were like.
Every
this
job
is,
I've ever had, I've sold something.
Right, but what I'm saying was going back from the Fox Sports internship, which I'm assuming would have been in front of the camera, right? Did you ever have the I want to be in the front of the camera, or did you get old enough and get in? Not old enough, but like wise enough into the business long enough to go, yeah, that ain't really where I need to be anyway. This is the avenue. This is where the
sales is the breadwinner.
That's what I'm getting at. Right.
I mean,
right. You're like,
and you know that.
Yeah, it wasn't like I wanted to be the limelight kind of thing. You're like, no, this is where it's at.
I feel like I shine enough as the limelight as a sales rep representing the company I'm working for.
I love it.
That's why we keep trying to hire you, but you keep shooting us.
We'll get into all that later. That's coming up.
We're
about halfway into before we get to that. So keep going.
So that's when. So while I'm at the radio station, which I loved. But it was it has become a challenge, you know, just because there's so many options.
Are you talking about now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Technology has it. I mean, look at this. Look at what we're doing.
Internet caught up. Yeah. Everything caught up. Radio's not
so,
yeah.
It still kicking. It does its thing. It's just options.
There's just a lot more options. And there's, you know, in our market is heavily it's just more small business.
Correct.
And it's more people who have a more limited budget.
100%.
Right.
And
their dollars got to go far.
Exactly. And so an opportunity arose for me to go meet with Michael Sunderman, who is my boss at South Mississippi Living magazine. We are under M2 Media Corporation is the name of our business, because we also publish Jackpot magazine, which he's been doing for 26 years, I believe.
Okay.
Gaming news, and then we also South Mississippi Living, and then we also have Discover Coastal Mississippi, which we actually partner with Coastal Mississippi Tourism, and we publish that quarterly.
Different entities that work together.
Right. Correct.
Okay, that have this, that still have Coastal Mississippi in the name.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So, so Michael and Mary and myself met, and you know, a lot of the times that I've been in sales, Ocean Springs has been a very large portion of who I would sell.
Correct.
And no matter what I was doing. And so I had developed a relationship with a lot of those clients, and the position that he was wanting to talk to me about was the territory rep for
Ocean Springs,
D'Iberville.
Boom, I like it.
This may go. It's very obvious, but like in your business, what you do, networking and relationships are.
That's what you do.
No, it's probably everything,
huge.
right?
If you don't have that, you have nothing.
It's
like
huge.
You say, your clients list, or like I think of Mad Men. Do you remember? Did you ever watch Mad Men?
A few.
Okay,
we didn't smoke in the office though.
Well, they had the Rolodex, right?
Oh,
if you got somebody's client list,
I mean,
like
I've had that before.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I mean, I've been doing this 20 years. So
you got a black book,
Again,
you got a Rolodex,
pre-internet,
right?
Pre-internet,
yeah. So that's everything. Who you know, who runs that business, who owns that business,
what's his phone number, how do I get contacts, a lot of. There's a lot of even winning over the gatekeeper to get to the decision maker. A lot of that. Yeah. But anyway, the opportunity came about for a position as the territory rep for South Mississippi Living Magazine. And when I tell you guys I have landed my dream job, I have landed my dream job.
Boom.
Yes.
That's it.
What's different about it compared to everything else that you've done?
So to me, it's just a top-notch publication.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, our team is stellar.
Let's flash on the screen
Like
real
our
quick.
team is stellar.
They say when you find something you love, it's not like work.
No,
When you wake
I
up in
love,
the morning, yeah.
and my clients know, and my boss knows, and my team knows. I mean, I genuinely love my job.
Jared's mouse just died.
No, I turned it back on, but we got, again, I'll read it off the way it reads, Dr. Wayne Rudolphich, but Joey and I, it's Coach Rudolphich.
Coach
will
Rudolphich.
always be
Gut
Coach
check.
Also,
Gut check.
former guest of the show through
Yeah.
COVID digitally, but we need to get him in the studio
Yeah,
too.
yeah. He just won some state championships in powerlifting.
He's a great guy.
He's about to retire.
Yeah, he is.
That's a sad thing. But, not for him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. I love South Mississippi Living Magazine. They do great work. And then we have Veronica Ratcliffe.
Mhm.
Yes, she's in the comments as well. Jennifer Cox, amazing job. I am so proud of you.
Boom.
So,
there it is.
Yes. Yeah. Where were we at though? Why is it the dream job? Great publication.
Well, I mean, the product's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I'm going to flash on the screen since you just said that.
Put that picture up
The
there.
one you sent me.
Yes. So that's our April cover.
Let me pull this down.
This is
Go ahead.
our kids issue.
Yep.
That is actually the precious kids from Lighthouse School of Dyslexia here in Ocean Springs. And by the way, shout out to one of your sponsors, Jesse Hill.
Yes.
He is, he and Stephanie are kind of who I deal with for the school. Jesse has actually graced the cover of our January issue
for
Faces
music.
of South Mississippi.
Yeah,
Yes.
we saw that. Yeah,
He's coming on the show. We're just waiting to
he's way better looking than us.
Jesse is a
We can't
huge
get him on.
supporter of our publication, and he's a great connection for me, great contact for me, and us for each other, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he can sing.
He's real good.
No, yeah, like real.
He's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Way better than us.
So great publication, put out a great product.
Yeah.
Tell people that might be hearing about the magazine for the first time. What can they expect when they open the magazine?
Yeah.
What's inside? What do y'all focus on?
So
I know you're on the sales side, but
we are a monthly publication.
Okay.
So every month we print 15,000 copies that are distributed coastwide.
Okay.
From Bay Waveland all the way to the Alabama state line.
Okay.
All the way up to Wiggins. We're in about 600 different locations where you can get your free copy.
Right.
And
She said free.
Yeah,
right.
free.
Free copy.
And it's just, it's that appeal. It's, the demographic that gravitates towards the magazine. But we feature every month shopping and dining,
Right.
home, healthy living, sporting and outdoors, people, coast notes. I
Yes.
mean, probably the most popular section of our magazine is the click section.
The what?
The click.
All right, go ahead.
So if you have been at an event
Mhm.
and you've had your picture taken
Oh,
from someone
seen
from
that.
our magazine,
I've seen that.
A lot of people have told me, literally, we pick up the magazine to look in the back and see
They want to see if they're in it.
if their picture made it. And I'm telling you, and some of my clients
I
will
believe it.
advertise.
Trust me.
I have several clients who advertise their ads in the click section because they know
They're smart.
people are going to look there.
They look for themselves.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no surprise there
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it is a cool section.
It is cool. And it's fun because that's also another way for, we've been going 15 years strong with South Mississippi Living. And I mean, so many people get so excited when they're at an event and it's either myself or Michael. I mean, a lot of times our own publisher will be the one taking your picture.
And they
Really?
see you.
So he's a
They're
he's a
jumping in
photographer.
front of the
Yes.
camera like, hey.
He's a
Yeah.
photographer as well.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, with our iPhones we are, but
technology. Going back to technology.
Yeah, but he just engages with them, and they get excited to see.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's cool.
It's
cool.
The quality of the photography that's in the magazine though is stellar.
Legit. Yeah,
it's
and
stellar.
like you said, y'all take and highlight a pretty broad
all
array
events.
of things
Yeah.
from businesses to
Oh yeah,
people who need to be highlighted for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I mean,
Mhm.
it's restaurants.
Restaurants. Yeah, we have a huge dining section.
I'm
Right
gonna-
now, we're actually
Galas,
our May
anything
issue is our ultimate dining guide.
Yes.
So yeah,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you'll probably deal with the casinos a little bit. You know what I mean?
We do. We have a lot of support from the casinos and actually all of our publications.
Yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
like the restaurants, the
Oh,
cuisine.
for sure.
That's what I'm
yes.
getting at. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Where's
absolutely.
home base?
So home base for me, I mean, our office is in Gulfport off of Industrial.
Okay.
Yes.
But there are 2 other sales reps besides myself, Kathy Wallens, who's at Carlson. Phenomenal women. I enjoy the heck out of working with them. They've been super supportive. Welcome. I've been there 2 years now, so they kind of took me on, and it was just great right out of the gate.
Right.
But we each have a territory, and so my territory for the representation of the magazine is from D'Iberville all the way to the Alabama state line.
That's a big that's some turf right
It
there.
is.
That's a lot.
It is. And I thoroughly enjoy it because, like I said, I've had the opportunity to work with so many of those clients and businesses. And I mean, there are some that are in downtown Ocean Springs that I have literally sold everything I've ever walked into.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a handful that have literally trusted me from radio to phone book to internet to magazine to to TV. Yeah, I mean all of it. And some have become literally lifelong friends. I mean, they have watched my kids grow up. They ask about my kids all the time. So that is probably, when I say dream job, I mean I get to make my own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go see who I want to see.
I would assume when you talk to your clients, right?
Mhm.
Like it's fun though, right? It's like
It's so much fun.
yeah,
It's
you
not a
go to the
job.
business, you go there,
I go there.
y'all do lunch, like that kind of thing too, like
all kind of stuff. I
yeah.
mean, so many of my clients, I mean, I'll communicate with them I'll shoot them a text. Hey, I need your ad copy for January or whatever. And they're like, shoot, okay.
Yeah.
And so, but I am a very, more, I want to come see you face to face. I'm not a huge email person just because I like the
Emotions, yeah.
opportunity
Correct.
to interact and, let them see me, and I want to see
Right.
them and, ask about their kids and what's
Correct.
going on with their family at the time and how business is doing and,
Right.
just different things. Not it's just, I like the way the more personal level
I love it.
of
I
it,
do too, yeah.
know.
Email, you lose so much. I mean, you can
Well,
only do so
I mean,
much in
there are
text
some
message,
that
email.
Well, you can do a follow-up or
can.
hey, I need this or I need that kind of a thing, but the connection and the brokering of the ad or whatever.
Yeah.
and
Well, it even goes back to even the ones that we do online, the podcasts we do online. They're cool, but
Yeah.
it's not as cool as sitting across the
Yeah.
table
Oh, for
from
sure.
we
somebody.
For
definitely like COVID, we had to.
Right.
It was just a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
But now people will be like, hey, can we do it online? And we will, but we really
No,
don't
we
like
want
it.
you to come sit here and drink a beer.
No, it's way
Yeah.
more fun to
Yeah.
be on a in
Yeah,
person
live.
type
Face to
thing.
face,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. And a lot of times it's harder for them to say no to your face.
You're
I
right.
like it.
Correct.
I like it.
So, but I just love being out in the community, and I will tell you, we do we have a huge partnership with the Ocean Springs Chamber. I am going to shout them out because
Okay.
they are phenomenal to me. Twice a year we put out 2 separate projects with them, and they're just they're a huge advocate for the magazine. They're a huge promoter of the magazine, and that relationship is huge for me as the rep for the territory. So
Right.
yeah, it's great.
So you said dream job, so you're happy where you're at.
Love it.
Sounds like you've raised your kids up to 20. You said 21 right now? They're 21?
They will be 21 in September.
Okay.
One of them's kicking football still.
So he is. So I have a boy and a girl, 21. 20. They'll be 21.
Are you gonna do the whole bomb the beer thing? You gonna do that?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Possibly.
Right.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
I already have. Is that bad?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. We'll edit that out. Don't worry.
Edit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
21's a big one though.
Yeah.
It really
21 is a big one. So I will tell you, like the weirdest age for me of them turning was 20.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, I know why. No, they're not teenagers anymore.
Yeah.
It
that's
was
why.
just like 13 was a
Right.
big one, 16, 18. But I had the hardest time.
Yeah, they're kind of adults.
But that also meant that I was turning 40.
Yeah.
So
We're staring down the barrel of that gun pretty hard.
I got a couple
months.
months
So,
left. Yes.
No,
you
I got a
know,
whole another year, man.
it was the realization, like, God, I'm 40 now. And
So did you pack all their stuff up and put it on the sidewalk and say,
no,
no,
no.
Mama can't kick him out?
I've always been a very involved parent.
Right.
I would assume. Yeah.
Very much so. Never really a helicopter parent, but involved. Like they knew better.
Right.
I made sure that I'm like, look, I know way too many people, so don't do
even
anything
try it.
stupid because
Right.
I'm gonna find out.
Right.
I mean, they get so aggravated because we can't go anywhere, and they're like, "Who do you not know?"
Yeah.
I'm in sales and marketing.
Yeah.
What do you
And they're
expect?
like,
I know everybody.
Everywhere we go, somebody's like, "Hey, Jen," or they love it when it's still like, "Hey, Miss Cox," because they're like, still from when I subbed.
Right.
It's crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, so he is he was the kicker and punter for D'Aberville.
Correct.
He was offered an internship. He was offered a scholarship
Yeah.
to Holmes Community College.
Mhm.
Went up there for a semester, a season, and it was not the best of
Fits.
And so after after the season, he entered the transfer portal and moved back home, and I enrolled him at Perk just so he wouldn't miss out on classes for spring semester.
Right.
We didn't have, we didn't know where he was going to go at that point. But then he got an opportunity with Hines Community College, which is in Jackson. So he will be going there
Sweet.
June for summer football, and that's where he's going to be for fall. So
I love it.
And then my girl, she is at USM to the top.
Yep.
She's actually a journalism major. She's a
Following
writer.
in mom's footsteps.
She's a writer.
She's intelligent.
She has expressed numerous times that she does not want to do what I do.
Okay, but it's still.
I don't want to be like you, Mom.
She's like, I do not want to do what you do. I'm like, okay.
It's in the same ballpark.
Same realm.
Same ballpark,
Yeah,
right?
she's a very talented writer. So she's my academically gifted
Inclined,
child. He's my athletically gifted
You
child.
gotta have one or the other.
And so, but she's also one of those kind of she's got a lot of my personality. She's very social. She's in Chi-O. She's in a sorority.
Yep.
Loves it.
Yep.
She is, killing it academically.
Good.
I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
And both of them are in school full time, have social lives, both have a job. So they're
Love mom.
Outstanding citizen.
Yeah. I mean, look, I could not ask for better kids. I mean, really. I mean, I've been very blessed.
All comes back to Mama, right?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I said,
Mama,
love mom.
but
love mom.
also Mama has had a tribe of
Right.
just
No doubt.
support, family support, friends that are like family support,
Mhm.
Teachers that they've had in their lives, coaches.
It takes a village.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, does it?
Yeah.
Tremendously takes a village. But the best compliment as a parent is, just being told your kids are the most respectful,
Absolutely.
well behaved, just genuinely nice
in this
kids.
generation.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this
Oh,
generation,
yeah.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So one of the other topics that we want to touch on before we wrap things up, and we did talk about this before we went live,
Oh, yes.
is and I'm going to say how you said it, dating now later in life.
Ugh.
I mean, we can say dating after 40.
After 40, because
I
we
am
did
fo-
mention that. We
I
mentioned
am
that.
41 for like 3 more weeks.
There you go. There you go.
So I'm creeping on 42.
But they say now 40 is the new 30.
40 is
right?
the new
It's the
30.
new 30. So
Listen, I am living my best life right now.
yeah,
There you
yes, yeah, you did.
You're going out
I
after this,
mean-
and I gotta go home.
So I didn't get to have a 20s
right.
or 30s.
You're right.
I mean, I was a mama. And
Yep.
I didn't get to experience everything.
You did your job.
I hear a podcast idea is what I hear.
I didn't get an opportunity to
You did your job.
go out every night. And,
Right.
you
So now
know.
in your 40s, kids are off to college. They're doing good, raised right, getting good
Mama's
compliments.
going out.
Mama's going. What's it
Wha-
like? What's it like? What's
Yeah.
it like? Is it
It's
bad?
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I'm going to use the nice word and say it's a
The
challenge.
challenge.
It
Yeah.
is tough.
I've talked to guys that I know that are dating at our age, and
Mhm.
like so.
It's way easier for a guy, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's
I'm
way
sure.
easier for a guy.
I'm not even going to debate you on that.
Yeah.
But I was going to go more like we talked about technology earlier. Like when we were growing up, same thing. Like you had to go to the bar, you had to, or wherever it was that
You had to actually talk to a girl.
you had to,
Right.
you had to talk to her
Yeah.
face to face. You had to.
Yeah, ask her for her phone number.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
you had
Call, you
and
had
then
to
you had
call
to-
and hope that her
No.
daddy didn't answer
No,
the phone.
you had to
Right.
page them at 9:30
Right.
at night because
Right.
Page
or
them.
on a Friday because weekends were free.
But if you
Yes,
didn't,
after 9. After
they're-
9.
all the millennials right now, like,
Yeah.
They're
what
like,
are they
what?
talking about? Yes, but like if if you didn't know anything about her, if you didn't know her circle of friends,
Right.
you had to find all this out through communication. Now,
I'm 41
Dating-
years old, and I will be at, somewhere in downtown Ocean Springs. And
there it is.
they'll be
Guys.
like, what's your snap?
I don't have
I'm
one.
like,
You're like,
what?
excuse me, what did you just say?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's an app. I don't understand why you're getting so.
I mean, I
Oh,
have
wow.
Snapchat because,
Yeah.
of course, I'm in media, so I know.
Yeah.
Right,
right.
I am active on social media, but
I'm not getting on there for that.
right,
No,
right.
like, no.
Just
What's your
call me.
Snap? I love
It's
it.
just tough
It's different.
because I'm a strong personality. And
That's okay.
Well,
I'm also a mean what I say kind of person.
a lot of people don't like that.
And a lot of people
I think
aren't.
the world might need a little bit more of
You're
that.
right.
A lot of people aren't.
People are
Yeah.
afraid of the truth.
And it's just, it's a challenge. That's
So
all
right back
I'm
to that
gonna
same word. It's
say.
a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there are some great people out there.
Yeah.
I have made some of the best friends I've ever made later in life, and so we're having a good time.
that's all that matters.
We're having a
That's
good
all that
time.
matters.
Have a good time. Working.
So
You
you're
know.
living it up now. You raised 2 kids, 2 beautiful kids. You got to go into college.
And life is busy. Life is
Yeah.
busy. And you have to find someone who's going to be willing to make time that's another big portion of it is finding someone who can make the time to, spend time with,
That's
Yep.
tough.
and as a
Yep.
single parent, I'm like, look, my kid plays on Thursday nights.
That's what I'm gonna
My daughter has this event I have to be at,
Yeah, I
or
hope you like
work is
driving.
busy,
Hope
or
you like
work is
driving.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, So it just, it's definitely it's been eye opening too.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm sure.
So-
I'm sure. I love your story. I think it's great.
It
The
was
people
killer.
the people that are listening to, if you're paying attention, there's a couple things you didn't hear. I didn't hear any complaining,
Nope.
No,
and
I'm not
I heard hard work and sticking to it and making it
Dedication.
happen.
it doesn't.
But in
do any
in
good to
today's
complain.
world though, like you said, you're on social media
Mhm.
for business purposes mainly, but like
right?
is that a dying breed as far as, and I don't mean man or woman, just like, okay, I got this is the hand I got dealt, so I'm going to deal with it, I'm going to make the best of it, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to make it work, versus, oh, now I just got a handful of excuses and now I'm going to
play it.
I'm going to
Never.
blame it on everybody else, right?
So people ask me a lot of times, how'd you do it? How do
Right.
you do it?
Right.
I really didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't gonna
It's probably second
walk
nature for you
away.
right now. Yeah.
I was never gonna walk away from them. I when it got to the point where they were about to go off to college, it really just kind of hit me that I'm like, what's my life going to be now?
You're an empty
my
nester.
life
You're an empty nester.
My life was literally nothing but
kids.
Yeah. And I mean, when I say I was involved, I mean, I was D'Iberville Cheer Booster president. I mean, I was at I never missed anything that my kids were ever involved in. So, that was what my life was their taxi, following them around, being at their, I mean, I was social because of them. They were social.
Right.
And so when they were both moving off, I'm like, well, what am I going to do now? Like, what do I do?
I said
and now I've figured it out. I have figured it out.
I'm free.
So now my son is home this semester, and I'm like, dude, like, when are you moving back up?
Get out of here.
Right. Mama's got stuff to do.
I'm like, you're cramping my style, bro.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
I said it earlier. I'm saying it again. I hear a podcast idea. Like, you have a ton of stories to tell that, like how to get through this and how I dealt with that and how I'm living now. Like,
listen,
you got look, that Fox Sports thing that
right?
It's the media has came back around.
Now.
Technology is around. All you need is a little Yeti microphone in your house.
Right?
You could use the studio right now.
Matter of fact, we're partnered up. Exactly.
It was literally by the grace of God sometimes that we got by, but we did. And, like I said, it takes a village. I've had such a huge support system. And, I give credit where credit's due. I mean, I love being a mom. I love what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And it just,
love the Gulf Coast.
I never lived anywhere but born and raised here.
Yeah.
And you have all of my family's from here. I mean, all of my mom's side, all of my dad's side. So growing up, it was always a joke. Like, you better come home and check with us before you date anybody because they could possibly be your cousin. I mean, I'm related to everybody, or I know everybody.
That's one cool thing about like my kids. Like, when they have friends and they hang out or whatever, it's kind of like, who's your parents? And when you know them, it's so much cooler, man. Because you're like, okay,
because you could beat them.
Well, and a lot of them.
Jared's kids come out of my house. I'm like,
well, that's true too. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like Mr. Joey, he slapped shit out of you once.
Yeah,
but it's like not only do I know their parents, but I know their grandparents and my parents.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like I said. I mean, I love being from a small town, and not that we're even really a small town. I mean, it's almost like,
relatively speaking,
we are one coast. I mean,
right.
I tell people all the time, like, I can get from Ocean Springs to Bay St. Louis in 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you drive state line to state line in an hour.
And so, I mean, our coast is thriving, which is exciting too. I mean, I love to see new people. I mean, and I will tell you one thing about working in Ocean Springs, and I'm there daily and visiting my clients, being in their shops, talking to them. There's so many people who come in and are visitors or tourists or, whatever. And they're like, oh my God, your town is so great. I mean, it's great. I mean, there's just so many great businesses down there, and it's just such a quaint little place. And, D'Iberville is one of the fastest growing cities in the state.
It's about to blow up even more.
I do have an uncle who is a city councilman now.
Yeah. Oh, Birdie, Miss Birdie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then, and even Pascagoula is booming. I mean, downtown, I don't know if you guys are aware of what's going on downtown Pascagoula.
Yeah.
I mean, so my territory is on fire.
Up.
Okay.
And I am really proud to be a representation of South Mississippi living, but in the territory that I'm at.
There it is.
Love it. Love it. Great story. We appreciate you stopping by today.
Yeah,
I know we've been talking about it for a while.
Such a blast.
Yeah.
We have been talking about it.
Yes. Thank you for stopping in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thanks everybody on the live watching. Yeah, I got that. I didn't forget. Thanks everybody on the live. And Joey and I get this a lot of times, or I know I've been getting a lot lately, talking to people that watch the show and mainly the people that do the audio. They're like, y'all are all over the place. And it's like, yeah, we are. Like, that's part of the show. That's what we want to do. We do outdoors, fishing, charter boat captains, hunting, fishing, but stuff like this, like this fits under the wheelhouse of the Gulf Coast of Mississippi.
Anything
and,
local.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it. So
I definitely am not gonna talk about fishing. So
I
mean, not that I don't love being on a boat.
But you love being on a boat.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, you know.
But yeah. So we're gonna throw this kind of stuff in the mix all the time. But Joey's holding this hat up here.
Yep.
We had Joey. Tell him why you holding that hat up.
What we did was a photo contest, and we reached out for sponsors for the photo contest. And Jacqueline over at Biloxi Beach Resort Rentals said she would do it first, and she said, you want to do a snapper contest? And I said, all right, let's do a snapper contest. So what we did was we got Woot Box. Boom, you vote on it, put your picture up there. And actually, a kid on my baseball team won it. His name is Cooper Rouse.
Hold on.
Awesome.
I got it right here.
217 votes.
That's it.
Little guy, big fish. So
I'm gonna shout out her as well, because she is a
Miss Tammy.
She's wonderful. They are also a supporter of our Discover Coastal Mississippi magazine.
There it is.
Who is that? His
Biloxi Beach, yeah.
Biloxi Beach.
Jacqueline.
Oh, Jacqueline.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jacqueline.
Yes.
okay, yeah. I would have. That makes sense because they're all over the place.
Everybody.
Yeah, and kudos to her because she supported the tournament.
Yeah,
she supported the photo contest. Like Joey said, we threw it up on the website. All fan submission and fan voted.
217 votes. I think.
That's awesome.
On just his, on just his.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was on brownwaterbanter.com, and the plan is to continue to do these once a month. So we're in right now? We're in April. We just started.
Yep.
So
we'll do another one maybe 2 weeks. So if you want to sponsor us, let us know. Hit us up.
Yep.
And we'll do the same thing again.
Yep. So we'll send him did you say what he won, Joey?
50 doll hairs.
Yeah.
Not dollars, doll hairs.
There you go.
Individual doll hairs.
$50, and as the popularity grows, so will the prize.
He won all this. The Biloxi Beach rental, the cup, $50.
Yep.
Cooper's the
It was
man.
a fun time, man, and we love looking at those photos, man. It's always
awesome.
good to see everybody out there having a great time, like you said, on the boat or in the Gulf of Mexico for any reason, whether it's fishing or just hanging out. So it's been a great episode. We appreciate you again, like we said.
Thanks
everybody on the live stream and on the podcast repeats, and we're gonna keep bringing these episodes to you if you keep listening to them. So see y'all on the next one.